Try this rear naked choke hack. Let me know if it helps you out. All right, so we're going to look at when I'm on Nick's back here, and he gets that 2-on-1. It can be a big problem, especially if my hands aren't connected. So if I'm here and he gets his arm elongated, he's going to look to maybe pass it by or fall that way. A bunch of different options for him to get out from here. Now, we've done one before where if he passes it over, I can find the inside of my thigh, then transition out. But I'd like to keep the back here if I can. So we're going to look to get my hands connected. Now, when I do it, I'm going to get any connection or grip I can get at first, right? I don't have the longest arms. I would like to go right to my gable grip, but sometimes on a longer guy, as he pulls away, I don't have that option, right? So I'm going to look to get any connection I can. It's either going to be an S grip or even my fingertips, and then I can transition to my gable grip. Now, if he's not on my hand and he goes 2-on-1 on my arm, which a lot of people do, I'm going to make my connection, and all I'm going to do, I call it a ratchet, like a ratchet strap. My elbow is going to work its way up Nick's arm and behind his shoulder. I'm going to keep chopping and digging till I can get my forearm behind his shoulder. So as I'm here, every time I pull with this arm, I'm not just pulling. When he locks back, he can go full resistance here just so we can see. I'm going to chop and keep working my way back. Now, when I get close, he's got a decision to make. If he thinks he can keep his hands in, I'll go right there with the fingers in, and now his hands are trapped, right? And it doesn't seem a lot of the time like you could catch him with those fingers in, but you absolutely can because it's just his fingertips, right? A lot of times, as guys feel this start to close in, they pull those hands out, and now we're on, right? What I can also do from here, as I start to ratchet this elbow back over the top, if he gives one big push away, look, I'll lift and swim underneath. And now my head swims across, and I'm right back on my choke on the other side. So either way, it's going to open up my pathway to the rear naked choke. So one more time, he locks out. I'm getting any grip I can. Now eventually I'm going to transition to my gable grip. So if I go S grip, I get a bend back in my arm, I go to my gable grip. Now I'm going to chop up. I have to make distance up his arm. The mistake that I see people make is they chop in place and nothing really happens. So if he really locks out here full force, I'm going to chop and make height over his back. Now, first option, I get all the way through to my rear naked choke. Second option, he gives one last desperate push away. Look, I'm going to swim underneath, switch my head, pull my hand back, and my lock should never go in the front again. It stays behind him here. Chin over the grip so it's tougher to hand fight, and now I can find my way to rear naked choke. Now, obviously when we're doing it, we're upright for the sake of the drill. This will apply on either side, right? I can do it if we're down here just the same and switch it, or the same thing on the other side. So if I'm here, I can chop just the same. But remember, very rarely am I going to be on a guy's back looking to rear naked choke him square and upright. That's for the sake of the drill. Try it out, guys. Let me know how it helps.